Hi, and welcome back to the AI Almanac, which is a once-weekly briefing of the top AI advancements or finds for the week. This week's advancements: Udio and Suno AI music generators, the Humane AI Pin releases, Spotify's AI playlists, HeyGen, Tesla's Robotaxis, Google's Cloud Next conference, Axion, and a review of Motion AI. Starting off with another joke because I'm the most hilarious person that I know. No one else laughs at my jokes, but I laugh at them, so that's really all that matters. Did you know that they made an artificial intelligent Oreo? It's one smart cookie. This week I'm in a makerspace called MadSci. It is the coolest place ever. There's wood shop, there's robotic stuff, there's 3D printers, and basically you just want to build stuff here. It's chaos and madness, and honestly, you're a mad scientist here. Freaking love it. Advancement number 1. Udio and Suno Gen AI music generators, crank it up. This week has been a really big week for Gen AI music generators. First, Suno AI started to pick up significant traction over the weekend, creating 2-minute songs, both melody and lyrics, from text prompts. Then Udio, developed by ex-Google DeepMind researchers, was launched on Wednesday, April 10th, elevating functionality by adding a remix option that allows users to edit their tracks using text descriptors, effectively transforming everyday musicians into music producers. Everyone was freaking out about Udio on Twitter, but I dealt with crazy website issues. I literally couldn't get in. I just kept on having bugs, so confused about that.
Sterling, the dog with a dream, left the fields behind, chasing something unseen, with a wag in his tail and a heart full of hope. He moved to Etsif, where the cities grow, from the parks of the bay to the streets filled.
Leading the investment in Udio are Andreessen Horowitz, a venture capitalist firm based in California. Angel investors include Mike Krager, which is the founder and CTO of Instagram, head of Gemini at Google, and musician will.i.am. Both apps are designed to simplify music creation, allowing users to generate a musical track in under a minute, specifying the genre, add specific subjects or personalized lyrics, and naming inspirational artists. My initial thoughts: hey, come on, you know I'm going to use this opportunity to talk about music copyright law because it really was part of my life for such a big period of time. I've talked about this debate every opportunity I have, as this is an ongoing question that many nations have not yet answered. And if you really want to understand this whole conversation, I talk about it a little bit in my Udemy course, so check it out. My opinion is this. And I believe it's also very well informed because I did study copyright law for a pretty long time. I lean, although it might not be popular, towards believing AI music generators in themselves are not copyright infringement, because Gen AI models create entirely new content and it's statistically impossible to be close to the original. However, what I strongly believe will be stipulated as copyright infringement in the future is using somebody's likeness, somebody's style or brand, saying let me generate a song in the voice of this artist, and similarly using an actor's face to recreate movies in their likeness, for example, should not be allowed. Less clear to me using copyrighted material to train these models. I know this might not be popular. I do see the argument for fair use examples since it is nothing like the original, but also think the laws are outdated and future iterations should require licensing permission. Sam Altman disagrees though and thinks the law should consider whether or not the content was publicly used or distributed versus privately used behind the scenes, which is a distinction that was never considered before in copyright. What all of this means: there's a legal loophole right now and future laws will adjust. Advancement number 2, the Humane AI Pin becomes publicly available this week. The Humane AI Pin launched this week, a new device hoping to instigate a post-smartphone future. Sounds amazing to me. It's a screenless phone worn on the chest designed to combat phone addiction and usher in a new era of personal devices. The company's describing this as to be your second brain, and this device uses voice commands, tapping gestures, and body projections, typically on the hand with a green laser, to operate. Along with an AI OS, Cosmos, that they're calling it, the AI Pin represents the dawn of ambient computing.
And your engagement comes through your touch, voice, gesture, or the laser ink display. I've got my music controls. If I go to the left, I can go back. If I go to the right, I can skip. And to get back to my home screen, I just close my hand. Okay, got my clock.
The AI Pin got overwhelmingly negative reviews, saying that it got almost nothing right in terms of solving functionality for cell phone users. Nothing right. Yikes. Voice commands would often fail to execute. The cellular connection is only through T-Mobile and you can't even port over your phone number. Many felt the projector felt invisible in most lighting situations, and the Pin even refused to translate certain things, which was a major selling point used in the marketing campaigns.
Estamos casi listos para enviar la versión final.
We are almost ready to ship the final version.
Great. I can't wait. Thanks so much.
Genial. No puedo esperar. Muchas gracias.
So what happened there is the AI auto-detected Spanish, interpreted to English, and replied back to Yanir in Spanish with my intonation. I can also force it into any language I'd like to speak or understand.
Users reported that rather than translating things, it usually would just repeat it back in a horribly and usually offensive accent. Man, this was such a bad launch for our first prototype. I don't know what to say, like, if I'm like engaging with somebody in Russian and it doesn't translate "Привет," it just says "hello." I would be pretty offended too. Starting at $6.99 with a required subscription of $24 per month, this is clearly a first generation prototype not worth the time or money. My initial thoughts, I actually saw the Humane Pin in action last week before launch at a coffee shop in SF by one of the developers. We were all gathered around and kind of enamored by him tapping his chest and projecting things onto his palm, and it could take pictures, and it definitely was a cool device to see, but only because I've never seen anything like it before, not because it actually seemed useful. As is, it's a combination of a wearable Siri button that doesn't actually listen to you, with a camera and a built-in projector that basically shows you nothing. Sounds exciting. Advancement number 3, this is going to be a speed round. There were dozens and dozens of mini updates this week. They're not worth expanding on, but worth you knowing about them. Spotify introduced into beta Monday AI playlists, which allow users to generate a playlist based on written prompts. The feature will initially become available in the UK and Australia. HeyGen, an AI video generation startup, is closing a $60 million funding round led by Benchmark, valuing the company at now $500 million. HeyGen has experienced a 20 times increase in revenue from the previous year, but still remains second in the market behind Synthesia, valuated at $1 billion. At Google's Cloud Next conference this week, they launched Gemini Code Assist, which is similar to GitHub Copilot, came out with an enhanced image generation tool called Imagen 2 that can be accessed through the Vertex AI platform for developers and can do text to live images, as well as announced their first custom-built ARM processor called Axion, which is allegedly 30 times better in performance than other ARM-based instances from competitors like AWS and Microsoft. And Elon Musk tweeted that Tesla will be announcing its Robotaxi on August 8th with an image teasing how it will look, but regulators in many states, including California and Arizona, said Tesla hadn't applied for the permits it would need, so they're really confused on what it means. And that's it for this week. This is not something I typically do, but since I'm trying out AI tools all over the time, I figured if there was a review that would be helpful, I should probably share it. I have seen advertisements for this amazing tool for months called Motion AI, and it's gone viral. It's all over social media. It's supposed to help you organize all of the long lists of tasks and optimize your schedule that you feel like you can never get to, leveraging AI to proactively schedule everything you need to do per day and save you 30% of the time. I'm slow to sign up for this stuff, so that's why it took me months to do it, but since there were 3 nights this week that I got less than 2 hours of sleep, I figured, what the heck not. I have to admit, I primarily still use Apple Notes and Google Keep to keep track of everything. I just haven't found anything that actually saves me more time than those things. Unfortunately, I hate it. I hate it for the following reasons. The first is that there's too many fields to create tasks. So I don't want to add a title, a start date, a deadline date, whether it's a hard deadline, what the description is, etc. I need to type it in quickly, tell you the deadline, hit create, how long it takes, that's it. Spending a minute to enter a single task is insanely annoying for someone that's moving 1,000 miles per second. I just don't have time, and it's not going to save me time by doing that. The second is that many projects and tasks in real life require a sequential order, and Motion AI just cannot handle that. It schedules things out of order with AI. There's no way to distinguish what that order should be, and when you try to adjust it based off of the calendar that you know offline, the system takes it as a manual override and locks that task. So what it means is that that task, if you move it at all, is now excluded from the AI algorithms as you continue to move things around, which is just like basically renders 80% of my tasks useless. Third, crazy amount of bugs, honestly, even with basic field inputs and even the calendar. There were just bugs everywhere. I had to constantly refresh to get things to work. And the fourth is that you really cannot move anything around and have things shift around like the demo videos. The demo videos make it seem like you can just like proactively drag something if you feel like there's a better spot for it and Motion AI will adjust around it, but that is not the case. If you even move it 15 minutes, it locks the task. I tried it for a solid 5 hours and honestly, I found myself back to notes. Long story short, not there yet. It's not there yet. Fantastic idea. I can't wait for it to work, but for now, I'm just gonna keep using notes. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next week.